I mean, yay Trump and yay the whole administration, but for to put on a whole pride, a hillbilly pride celebration, right? For all of the queer DL white people who like to wrap it up in UFC and MMA and all of that and pretend that they're not sexually aroused while talking about how thick the thighs of the men are and such things, which sounds very gay. Happy pride, yay. It does not seem like that is the role of the White House, though. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying don't. I'm just saying maybe the money could be better used right now. That's all.
I watched a fight between some gay squirrels in my backyard the other day.
See? That would be an appropriate scale of celebration. The podcast, an act of revolutionary defiance and a celebration of the things that bring us solace, comfort, and joy. I did that off the top of my head, which is why it was out of order. As we reclaim our humanity together, I am your co-host, Carlos Kareemwood.
And I'm Theresa Logan. Hey, Carlos. How's your nervous system doing today? Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Well, better than it was yesterday, if I think of my overall nervous system and how it relates to my body. We can get we'll get into it.
What would be the nervous system not related to your body?
We'll get into it. But as our visual visual viewers, what? Anyway, anyone who can see, I am not in my regular space and have been on the move as promised in the last very poorly produced podcast that I broke into 2 segments and only released the second of in the videos. I had mentioned that I'd be on the road, which was part of why the very quick production on the audio side happened and why listeners only got part 2 of our discussion. Sorry,
it's not like a marketing strategy to make them go look for something.
Yeah, just sneak it. Now I got them exactly. The more they look for it, the higher we go in the algorithm. But have been on the road, and it's come with its bumps and bruises. But we'll get into it. But yeah, today
Carlos,
I'm doing better than I have been. How are you?
How is your nervous system? You told me nothing. You said better than yesterday, but I didn't tell me how are you actually managing today? How's your nervous system doing today?
Okay. Yep, you're right. And you've been for, I think, 4 or 5 episodes trying to get me to do this. Here I go. Not well. Not well at all.
Not well, like you are. You don't seem shut down and depressed. You don't seem overly agitated and wired, but maybe a little just like frazzled and burned out, but hard to rest.
Out of sorts and viscerally aware of how pummeled most everyone I know is by the economy in particular, and by just the exhaustion of the Trump's doughboy army. I'm out of energy for them. Plus travel, which is, in the best of circumstances, you're not in your circumstances. And as I said, we can talk more detail as we go on, but
And for a
while I'm in a
neurodivergent
great
person, being out of your normal setting and structures and routines is really easy for you, right?
yeah, I love it. I love it. Uh, yeah, and so, with all of that, my body had sort of, locked up on me a couple of days ago, and I had been trying to work a horrible knot out of, my left shoulder. Finally did that, but now it's just sore from having been locked up so long, and, yeah, not feeling me. I mean, behind the scenes, I wanna be here and give it to the people and be here with you and do all the things, and also, after trying to rush out the pod last week and stumbling a bit, and then everything that has been involved with travel thus far, this is the first time I think that, I've sat to record this that I was like, "Oh, like a job. Okay. Ah." And, that, of course, is the goal when you're creating things for people and for audiences. And, if you're hoping for it to be a thing that helps, um, sustain movement, right? And, isn't just a hobby, after a time, which, here's hoping. And with all of that, um yeah, it is. It's the same thing as I think for everybody in every aspect of their imaginary career lives when they're like, oh, I want to be an astronaut or I want to be a whatever. Right. And it's like, then you get to day training 8 and you're like, wait, what the hell is this? This is born. I don't want to do this. And every job, no matter how great the job, there's a lot of that, you know, there's a lot of that. I don't care what the job is. Um, And when there's not a lot of pay, it is definitely 2026. How's your nervous system?
I'm feeling a lot better today. I feel fairly grounded.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, it's been a rough week, month, years, decade. I don't know. It's hard to say at this point, but I had a couple rough days of just that waking up the past several days just with that dread in the pit of my stomach of like, "Oh, what are we gonna do?" Um, it's been not my favorite, but I have skills and tools, and so I the challenge is to actually use them. Right? It's easy to talk about them and to tell other people what to do, but to
I like it
actually
much more.
put into practice the things that we talk about, which is like, okay, can I just get myself outside, walk around the yard, look at the pretty flowers, look at the grapes
Yes.
growing on the vine. They're getting so big. Little apples growing on the tree. They're so lovely. They make me so happy. Um, and just focus on, what is actually mine to do. What's the one thing I can do today to take care of my living space, to try to generate some work, to, you know, follow up with people I love, to, and not even to push myself to do everything every single day, but like what is mine to do today? What can I do?
Yeah.
What can I do to lift my spirits if I'm feeling down? And our colleague Crystal doing her June Joy challenge has been really helpful. And it's been a bigger challenge than I expected. You know? It really is a challenge to tap into joy right now. And so I
Oh,
appreciate
yeah.
having the constant reminders from her about how much magic and potential and how much we really can impact our own brains and experience of the world. She had her Tuesday tune in this morning that went to and just talking about like tuning yourself into that experience of how good it's gonna feel, what it's gonna feel like and look like and smell like and taste like, right? Activating all the senses like we do sometimes, of that future state of well-being that we're moving towards, of those dreams, of not setting our dreams as our, wildest aspiration, but saying, "What if it's even
Mm,
better than my wildest dreams? What if I set that as a
mm.
floor? how could the universe surprise me, right? Even just saying those words, it feels better, right? I was like, all right, well, even if I'm and being okay being wrong, right? Because I think there's a way that a lot of us get stuck in like criticism and negativity and well, it probably won't work and that kind of thing because we're afraid to like put ourselves out there and then have it not work out because we're going to feel
Mhm.
dumb or people are going to make fun of us or I don't know what we
Oh, yeah,
really
it's the
think is going to
worst. No, putting
happen.
yourself out there is the worst. It's the worst.
But if you do and you just go for it, like, yes, this is absolutely going to happen. I'm going to make magic. It's going to work. What's the worst case scenario? It does not work. But if I spent that whole time in doom and gloom criticizing, talking about it's probably not going to work, or I spent all the time believing it's going to work, and then in the end, in both cases, it doesn't work, I'm much better off having spent the time believing it was going to work because I'm going to feel so much better if I spend all that time talking about how it's not going to work and not even trying. Right? Like, it's just like the cost is so
Yes.
high to sit there and constantly critique each other and ourselves, and nothing will work, and nothing's possible, and there is no answer. And that won't work because, and that won't work because, and that won't work because. And part of her thing today was like, it's not your business how it's going to happen. It's your business to have the dream and carry the vision. You know, let the universe arrange itself to figure out how to make it happen because the how is where we trap ourselves because we get stuck thinking that we have to know all of the mechanisms of how these things are going to play out and how it could happen. And that's how we start talking ourselves out of our dreams or, you know, the things that give us spark or that light us up. It's like, absolutely. Of the things we've done in life, how many of them did you plan out ahead of time, step by step? And how many of them were things that aligned in your path that were
201.
beyond what
Every
you
one.
ever
Every single
expected?
one. I have a
Absolutely.
whole map on my wall. This is exactly what I thought.
This is the career you envisioned as a 10-year-old.
Oh, and the way that it was going to happen, and certainly the no stress ever that is involved with owning your own business in life.
Did you end up on tour with Omar because you planned a tour with Omar and you had a set number of steps you were going to take to make that happen? Or was it something where you like, I believe, as I've heard the story told, you were like, I'm going to perform with him. I'm going to work with him. I have no idea how or when or why, but it's going to happen. And then what happened? Then you ended up on tour with them.
Yeah, then we were on tour for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, no, I saw a photo of him on the cover of remember weekly magazines from every city, all catered to look like the Independent, the US Independent, not the fucked up British one, and the Village Voice and all that. And the one in Oakland was the East Bay Express, I believe. Uh, and he was naked on the cover of it, hunched over his piano with his grand, with his feet up on the bench, wearing his collares, his aleques. And I saw it and I was like, yeah, I'm going to end up working with that dude. And which is sort of the way I ended up in Oakland too. I was just like, I don't know, I got to go to Oakland. I know I should go to Brooklyn because I'm East Coast rooted from my family and everything else, and the way that I do what I do. But I have to go to Oakland, and so I did. So no, and I was 35 years younger than this. So it was 30 years younger than this. So it was, it was,
When you went to Oakland, not when you toured with Omar.
yeah, yeah. No, when I
So
went
sorry.
to Oakland and when I knew I was going to tour with Omar Sosa, like that was, I mean, I was not established yet, right? Like I was not the artist in residence at La Peña. I was not, working with Boots Riley. I was not Bamus and working with Zion I. Like that was not what was happening at that point. I only knew that at some point we were going to interface. There was something about um, la energía, right?
Yeah.
The vibe that was just like, okay, that's going to happen. And I followed that same hunch, and we'll get into it to get myself out here uh, for this week in Hollywood, uh, based on the faith entirely in what we have together as strategy and solidarity and in our joint business ventures together, doing the equity work, working with folk, and what I had been able to facilitate through that and to create the most comfortable of touring circumstances that I could for myself as a solo stand-up
You're
comedian,
using so
right?
many words.
And
I have no idea what you're saying.
so I'm landing the plane. You got to let me cook. The
You
fries
just
gonna get
said
in the
so many
bag.
words. I don't know what any of them meant as a string together like that.
Well, here comes the
Okay.
string. You
All
got to
right.
look at here comes the whole picture.
Okay.
And so 2 years ago, I was on this exact same tour. This part of it. This is a longer version of it because I was 2 years ago at the Comedy Chateau's third annual international comedy festival, and it was massive. That's when I met Black Pedro. I almost went and rocked over at the Laugh Factory with Sergio, who I just did the contest with last Friday over in West Hollywood. I'm actually North Hollywood now, where the chateau is, and so I had planned out both our having the kind of client work back instead that would allow for um, there to be financial ease for the rest of the trip. And I invested deeply in merch for the tour. Uh, just knowing that, like, okay, there's going to be people here. This is going to be, like it was last time. It's standing room only. I'll probably even have to ask where I can sell it, but it's going to be great. And I'll wrap it into my routines too, so I can sell from the stage. And it was brilliant. It was a brilliant plan. And then FIFA is happening, and it's happening here.
That's also
And
known
so
as the World Cup.
a lot of people are watching football and not going to see joke people, or have spent an enormous amount of money to stay wherever they're staying while they're watching the football, and certainly not given the prices of uh,
It's also known as
tickets and gas
soccer
and
for our
everything else.
US listeners.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So the likelihood that, I would be here repeating the same cycle of just seeing so many folks out at the clubs and
Comedy festival.
meetings, comedy festivals, seeing so many comedians, doing so much networking. Um, Last night at the club where I was and I did perform
Comedy is
was
not recession
uh
proof. Is that?
no. It turned
You would
out
think it would
was
be.
it was
Just
an
because you
open
don't get
mic.
paid in the first place.
Yeah, no, the sweaty wads of 20s, I would have been so happy for last night. Um, yeah, it was essentially being at an open mic for comedians up and down the West Coast that just happened to be on a famous stage.
It wasn't very
Um,
international.
nah,
I wonder
it
if it's
wasn't.
because people can't come to the United States anymore
You know what I mean?
or don't
And
want to.
and don't want to,
Yeah.
and for good reason. Um, Yeah, so really, really, really thinly attended. I mean, and they're trying to do the best that they can. They really are. They're very accommodating. But
We're
I
not
mean, the
going to air this
difference
till
is
after the
stark.
festival ends, right?
Oh, absolutely not. But it's stark. I mean, and I think it's stark at every festival and every event right now, right? Like, the last time I went, it was like 4 volunteers at the front, and they were the ones in charge of the swag bags and the t-shirts and the this and the that. And now it's like the bar back had to make the name tags, and the t-shirts are in the office, and grab one for yourself, and hey everybody, let's sit in the middle so it can look better for everybody. Just like, oh my God, what is happening? And what's happening is that
Not the same
Donald
caliber of
Trump stole all
event.
of everybody's money, and so we can't do the things that we used to do the way we used to do them. Uh, so it's different. It's different.
Well, unless you have multiple Netflix specials, my understanding is you need a day job to subsidize your comedy career because no one is paying their bills as a comedian unless maybe you have a couple Netflix specials. And even then, you still might not be paying all your bills with
No, 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 no.
comedy.
Yeah, let's be very clear. So the right wing comedians who are most economically sound in terms of their business models right now are 2A1 nepo babies of parents with very, very, very deep pockets in Wall Street and other areas who had been given the opportunity to just take a decade off of life and fuck around telling jokes. So even if they fail, they don't fail, right? Like their whack ass podcasts and shit are like, as soon as that business proposition fails, being thrown right back up by their dad. So much like Ellison, right? Who is the one trying to merge Paramount and do all that nonsense, and is doing it with his
Destroying
dad's
60
money.
Minutes and whatnot.
Destroyed 60 Minutes. That's over. Um, God, which is still wild to think about, and is now working on destroying CNN, and now working on destroying, there's basically two companies left. Um, and I'm near one of them, which I did not know the last time I was here because I lucked up. I opened myself to magic and possibilities and joy with your help. And in doing so,
Because
excuse
you
me,
were
so sorry
carrying the
about that.
dream. If we come back to you were carrying the dream and the vision, you were anticipating it was going to be just like last time, well organized, well attended, all these things.
All the
And
things. And the hotel that I got, which was in the price point of the same one I got last time, turns out when I got off the plane and got there, 4 hours before my first show, was in fact a trap house, was in fact a drug house. Whoops. And they wanted me to pay them the entire week in advance in cash right then, and pointed at the cash machine behind them. So I was sat there in the lobby with my very pretty pink luggage, needing to not be there, and got onto my phone to relocate to a hotel through Expedia, and did, and it was a flop house. So I
what is a flop
actually ended up,
house?
oh, that's a place that has it, they say it's a hotel, but
I've heard the
it's a
word, but I
bed.
didn't know they still existed.
Yeah, no, it's a bed that could be used for some drug doings or some sexualities.
Do you have to pay an
Um,
hourly rate?
Not quite hourly, but I was able to check out anytime before 11 p.m.
That's
Um,
amazing.
yeah, yeah,
It's a very
it was
flexible policy.
very flexible. Uh,
Real
Everybody
inviting
I was
room, I'm
talking
gonna
to was
guess.
behind glass. Oh, it was like being in the room that was used in Michael Jackson's Beat It video before he went to stop the gang war with his dancey dance.
Okay.
It was a lot like that, just very stark,
Did you
very
do some Michael
upsetting.
Jackson moves while you were in there to just
No, no, no.
pretend you were on
Well,
the in the set?
I did a little bit. I did the lean over the bed, and that's how I slept the entire night. I just, you know, so that I wouldn't have to put my body on it, um, on the bed. That was my Michael Jackson move. But then I woke up the next day and was able to find, with your assistance and insistence, uh, as you said, hey, you have MS. Why don't you not do this and find a place? And so I opened my Airbnb, found this spot, which has been a blessing. I am
And I'm gonna call in
in the
that there
magic.
was some magic in there because I think they must have had a cancellation that just went through because everything everywhere was sold out or was like $2,000 for 5 nights or whatever you needed.
Thousands for the amounts of nights I
Thousands
need. Yeah.
anywhere near where you
Yeah.
needed to be. So I think with the World Cup
Yeah.
having things sold out, our other friends said, "Well, you just needed to see how bad the first place was so you could really appreciate how good
I'm
the first
telling
two
you.
places. So the third time's a charm. You ended
I'm
up in a
telling you,
good
because
place,
anything that
reasonable
is
rate."
like, yeah, no,
Yeah.
anything that is Airbnb-ish about an Airbnb, I don't care. I love it. I love it.
I don't
Everything.
like the eliminating housing from families who need it and driving all the housing rates up and making housing unavailable for families. But other
That
than that,
part, that said, the
structurally,
part of the world that I am in right now, I am literally half a mile from Universal Studios, which, by the way, are now the NBC Universal Comcast Studios. There and it's all on the globe that used to say Universal when you would the movies would open. It doesn't say that anymore. Now it says NBC Comcast Universal Telemundo on it, and
Telemundo's up there too.
uh-huh. Yeah, that's it's the fourth building on the compound.
Huh.
Um, yeah, so the mergers are happening. I'm sure the people in this town are feeling that as well in very different ways than I am. I have heard from a lot of actors, a lot of voiceover actors, a lot of comedians that just like they don't know where to get spots. They don't know what to do. The bar that I was in the first night for Sergio's contest, which was great, had double booked themselves. So the room we were supposed to be in was some kind of a karaoke showcase or something. And then they shoved us into a room that was not a room and was a balcony with a curtain,
Oh,
which is perfect
wow.
for comedy.
Stand-up comedy.
Um, yeah.
Mhm.
Oh man, where you can hear the traffic and people fighting. That's what you need
Like an outdoor
for the
balcony?
focus. Yes, very
Wow.
much, very much. At a hookah
Interesting.
bar. Um, again, everybody's doing their best, right? Like artists are a nomadic tribe, and part of that is because we have to have either communes that we're able to deal with or patrons, and there's not a different way to do it in this economic structure of capitalism and neoliberalism. And so yeah, the elastic markets, herb, comedy, strip clubs, bars, not as elastic as they were. Um, everybody is tight on every level. Like there just aren't the dollars to spread around. You know, there just aren't the dollars to spread around the way that we had under Biden during the last economic crunch, which was not just a human made thing because Israel's trying to expand so
Well, and I think AI is taking a big bite out of Hollywood as well with writing and people using AI
yeah,
actors instead of real people and AI voiceovers and all kind of things. So it's probably putting a lot of people out of work.
doing their AI necromancy so that we can see the new Val Kilmer mystery movie.
What?
What? I don't want. Yeah, he's in a Val Kilmer mystery movie that's gonna star him from ages 20 to 60, and he did not film a day of it, or he filmed some of it but now there's a whole movie of it. So I don't know. I don't know. AI is amazing. AI is amazing. One of my fans uh used at least 4 or 5 gallons of potable water to get back at me for asking whether or not the president was still alive by making an AI vision of me in a coffin. And it looks like me in a coffin. And I'm going to say this about that. I looked beautiful. I looked beautiful. I lost your sound though.
I said, I bet you did. I don't want
Oh,
to
there
see
you
that
are.
in real life anytime soon, nor in an AI generated image.
No, it
Um,
was a little, it was a little like, that's even one of my outfits. How did this happen? And I don't know how AI works.
it found a
So
picture of you somewhere and it stuck you inside a coffin.
but how did they get me in it?
You're all over the internet. They Googled
But
you.
no, how did they get me in the coffin? There's no pictures of me in a coffin.
It's AI. They just made a coffin. They stuck you inside of it. It's like more
But how
advanced
did they
Photoshop.
close my eyes? They did it all.
Photoshop has existed for a long time. AI is just, it can more advanced do that.
It's
I'm
weird.
sure there's some things in there that were incorrect and that my 14-year-old would look at it for half a second and be like, that's AI.
Oh no, for
Even if
sure, for sure. Like
wasn't
the
you, but
no, the size and the dimensions of the coffin to the body and the this and the that were off, but it was impressive. And then I looked at their job description of themselves, their profession, and they said that they are a digital creator, which isn't a thing. That's nothing. No, you're not. But yeah, really, I mean, that's a compliment. You know,
mhm.
I upset you so much that you needed to pour 4 of your gallons of water
No, it
into
wasn't
the
their own
computer to
water.
dump that out. Oh, that it's only your own water. I think that's how it's doled
No,
out. I think every time you use AI, they take 4 of your gallons of water and you just don't get that
I
later.
think it turns out
It's like
that it is
cigarettes.
incredibly heavily subsidized, especially if you're using it free. But even the people who have paid accounts, like if you, from what I understand, people who have made their like own AIs on their own information have to go through some, you have to use tokens to go through Amazon Web Services or to go through something to access the AI
I don't know what
directly.
you're saying. I don't know what you're saying.
Like if you don't want to use, if you don't want to give your sensitive information, as I understand it, I could be
Uh-huh.
wrong. If somebody knows, tell me if I'm wrong. As I understand it, if you have like your whole body of work that you've created, you don't want to feed it to ChatGPT or Claude because they will just consume it and do whatever with it. You can create your own AI, your own model that's just trained on your information. So like we have a platform we use. That platform has a chat bot
Yeah.
that's just trained on its customer service information, its user manual, etc. So I can ask it a question, it will pull up the answer, which is much quicker than me going through and reading everything myself to try to find it. So like you can train your own that's just for a specific purpose on your own information. It's not ChatGPT, it's not
Oh,
Claude, but it
like a
has to
library
go.
card.
No, it's still an AI, but you have to go through one of their services for the processing power. They don't get your data, but you still need the processing power because you don't have your own data center to go through. But to do that, you have to pay them with these tokens and these, so like putting quarters in a payphone or something. If you got to keep talking, you got to put another quarter in the phone to keep the conversation going. You remember doing that?
Yeah.
Your time
Yeah.
right now. So they said like someone on the internet on Threads, I think, said they pay $200 a month for Claude to do all their work stuff, but they're developing their own AI on the side, and that they could burn through $200 worth of tokens in like one day, 20 minutes. So like they're very heavily subsidizing these LLM accounts for the general public right now. Why would they do that? To get you hooked on them, like a drug dealer who then will raise the price because you no longer have the ability to write things or think things through for yourself. So it's just very heavily subsidized. It's not your water, it's not your electricity. It's the people at the near the data centers who are getting charged for electricity and using up all their water. And I don't understand how they charge the general population for the data center when the general population isn't using it. But it's a wild, wild world. Capitalism, it just destroys everything. Just destroys everything, just consumes it and extracts until there's nothing left that anyone wants. Like
I
email.
remember in high school laughing about the idea of uh, water for sale.
Yes, I recall. Mhm.
They were selling it, and they were calling it H2O. The commercial H2O, whoa, and I was just like, what the fuck is this? This is a commercial for water, water
And you are the
from the sink.
person who buys the most water of all the people I know.
I drink so much water.
But it's really specifically you only drink bottled water. Like I
I
still have a
really
Brita
drink
filter
pH
in
water.
my kitchen. I just drink tap water out of my Brita filter. But
Yeah, no, I
yeah.
really do. I started drinking
You
this
act like you're
pH
allergic
balanced
to
water, and
tap
now
water.
I feel like I am allergic to it.
See, that's what they're gonna do with AI. They're gonna feed it to everyone. Then you're gonna feel like I can't drink tap water even though it's safe for my body. I have to go buy the bottled water. They're gonna do that with AI because people are not gonna be able to write or think for themselves anymore. And they're gonna go have to go pay for AI to do their thinking and writing for them.
I heard that the kids are very interested in and starting to really love cursive.
Interesting. What, because AI can't read it or what?
Just because it's useful and good, and
No.
why did it stop? And they're like, "Wait a minute, this is great." Uh, I there's more good news too. Wait, hold on. What was the other one? You know who hates gambling more than anyone could have predicted right now? Men 18 to 25. They're like, this is one of the worst things on the planet. Why would this exist?
Okay.
And like 5 years ago, 65% of that group was like, yep, let's gamble. And that's where Stake
Okay.
started creating this idea of like, you can just bet on anything. You can just bet on anything in life. And they'll, all right, you want to bet it, bet it. And then if it doesn't work out,
So
hey, that's
gross.
my money now. And so it has created quite, I mean, this is the same country that has whole musicals with songs about how gambling is bad. With a capital T that rhymes with P and that stands for pool. Oh, there's trouble right here in River City. You know what I'm saying about the gambling? You don't gamble. You
What
don't know
is
what
that
I'm
a
talking
reference? I
about.
don't know. What are you talking about?
That's the Music Man.
The Music Man?
They're talking about the pool halls, and they're talking about the
Yeah.
gambling that goes on in the pool halls because they're just betting on the games. And there's trouble right there in River City with a capital T that rhymes with P and that stands for pool. And
Oh, okay. I thought you said poo when you sang it, so I was really confused.
also trouble, also problematic.
I mean, they
But
probably
yeah,
watched all of their older brothers and friends, uh, gamble away whatever money they had.
I
That's why
can't
they
even
don't like
believe
it.
that they made it legal.
Oh, it's
Like it had been
atrocious. They're gambling on
for
like when the
so
Iran war was
long.
gonna start or who was gonna die, or they're just gambling on atrocious, atrocious, horrible things, and then it's all kind of insider trading happening.
Yeah,
Like
the
who knew what
worst
time
things
the
that you
bomb
could
was gonna get
imagine
dropped or something. Just atrocious, atrocious. Like this is
still
what
are.
capitalism, it just destroys everything. It takes everything that was once useful,
Yeah.
like social media. I like keeping up with my friends, seeing pictures of their kids, and now it's just AI slop being force fed. I'm like, I don't even like it here anymore. Hard to
Mm.
have a real. It was useful when it was generating genuine, real connection, and now it just feeds you like fake connection with people you don't even really know, and you have to like look through there to find the people you still know who are barely there anymore because who wants to be there anymore when they're just force feeding you AI slop all day. My
Yeah.
email, all I do, they keep sending me these emails that are like, we could reach 20 new clients for you every week. And I'm like, am I one of the 20 new clients that you're trying to reach for someone else? Because y'all keep sending me all these cold call emails. I used to get zero cold call emails. I used to get zero for years. Been in business for 7 years. I would get zero cold call emails. And then starting maybe last year, I would get like one a month or something. It'd be for like cleaning services or something random. And then all of a
Yeah.
sudden this year, just every day I get like a half a dozen of them. I'm like, I don't know you. I don't want this service. and they're all AI written. They use the same script. Half of them are scams.
Well, and
It's like, why would I pay for this?
the micro marketing that the machines have trained on, that are breaking up everything into such small slices to then sell that to you, so that now, right, my phone is always trying to sell me shit I bought already. I'm like, dog, I don't want that. What are you doing? And I've blocked the number again, again, again. It doesn't matter. Does
No,
not
there are
matter
always
in the
new numbers
least.
every time.
Yeah, just like, what is happening? How every day is me undies asking me if I need more underwear? Like, who needs that much underwear? What is this?
I mean, and look, we have the Democrats to blame in some kind of way because they were the first ones to start sending me 6 to 12 spam text messages a day long before AI was doing it. Um, does anyone still give them money? Why are you still sending me these texts? I usually never gave them any money at all, but every now and then if it was someone I really like AOC in the early days, or I might give them $20 when I had it. But I hit a point where it's just like, y'all send me like 1,000 emails or text messages a day. Get out of my phone. I don't want you on my phone.
Yeah.
You already flooded my whole inbox. My inbox is unusable with thousands of unread emails in there because I can't even keep up to just go through and delete them because it's too many. I don't have time to just be deleting your emails all day long. Be like, is this really still working for you? Who is still giving you money with all your guilt-ridden, urgent, false urgency text messages all day long?
Oh,
The
what?
AI,
Who's the one that says urgent every day? That urgent,
the
urgent.
Democrats,
Which one is that? Yeah,
any
but
number
what
of
were they?
the whole
I
Democratic
wonder what they said
spam
today.
machine. It could be
What did they
any
say is
it could
urgent
be
today?
Jeffries, it could be OC, it could be I don't people's names I don't remember. It could be the Democratic National Convention, it could be some of these like PACs that are like adjacent. They're all connected.
Yeah,
I'm just like, go do
I don't
something
have it here.
useful. And if I'm inspired and I ever have money again, then I will donate some money to you if I see you being useful in the world. But sending me guilt-ridden false urgency text messages, I think only gets um, elder people with dementia to send them their life savings.
I mean, it was urgent, but like,
It can't be urgent
they
every 5 minutes. You can't be
no,
urgent every five
they
minutes.
blew. Well, it
Can't
is
be
urgent
urgent
every
every
five
single
minutes, but
day.
it is. But they blew the 10 years they had to actually organize to deal with not being in a state where there was an urgency happening every 15 minutes because of some bloated bag of hate and
Yes,
jizz
there are, but me sending
with
you
dementia.
$5 is not going to fix any of it.
No, no, especially not when that $5 needs to go into your tank to get half a gallon of gas. That's not.
I have a Costco membership still, so it gets me a whole gallon of gas.
Hey, hey. Well, back in the day, that $5 would buy you some snow tires at Costco. So, things have changed. Snow tires and a hot dog on the way out.
You can still get 2 or 3 hot dogs for $5 at Costco. They're still $1.50. I don't really eat hot dogs, but you can still get 3 hot dogs for $5. You get a half a pizza at Costco for $5. That costs a
Yeah,
week.
that's their.
I keep
They
joking
take
that
that
I'm
loss on purpose.
I'm reconnecting with my Irish ancestors because 'cause I'm just living off of bread and cheese right now, but half of it is Costco pizzas. We survived as children in my household on, take and bake pizza from Papa Murphy's. It was called something else back in the day, but that was our take and bake pizza out here. Because you could buy it with food stamps because it's not because you gotta take it and bake it because you can't
There
buy
you
a
go.
baked pizza. Can't buy anything hot with food stamps. So we survived off take and bake pizza, and my children now are surviving off Costco pizza, which I don't know if it's an improvement or not. I know Costco pizza is still cheaper than a take and bake pizza right now, and
Well,
it's
then it's
cooked.
an improvement. Improved. It has been improved. Yeah. No, it's a wild, wild time. As I said before we came on, and uh, even now, like the work, and you spoke to it as well, right? In the June Joy exercises, and it is so beyond looking for joy or solace or rest at this point. For me, it's more like foraging for joy, right? And the joy is immense, right? Um, because the joy is in the very brief moments of rest or comfort. Um, and watching them be stolen away, the measures of comfort that have allowed for the idea of a belonging to a society that was not bound by the rigidity of class division and was, still riddled with misogyny and racism, homophobia, rampant, all the things. But that
Wh- when was there not
of
class division?
the mythology
Oh, okay.
of there being enough of a ladder and opportunity that people could at least establish, right, a home for their families, if it weren't stable all the time, right, to at least create those opportunities for your kids to do better than you had, which had been an ongoing hope for many that many had seen come true for 4 generations. And
4? I don't know about that.
Is it four back to wait, how far? Yeah, well, no, I'm going to
I
say
don't
four
know.
from not from FDR, before all everything that he put together has been dismantled. Isn't
My
that about 4
I mean,
generations?
my grandparents lived through the Depression or were born just on the other side of it, but they like if I think my grandparents, like my grandmother grew up with her father, had built something up for the family and then lost it all in the Depression. And then she and my grandfather bought a house, little, little house, raised all their 8 kids. Their kids went to college, became professionals, and that kind of was the sweet spot. Right? Like they
Yeah.
were able to do that. And then I think the boomers and maybe early Gen X were sort of able to do that. And I think it was only those 2 generations because after that, that's not really been a thing anymore. Um, so I think it was just those 2 generations because before
Which
that's
two?
always boom and bust.
Yeah, I mean, there's always cycles. I mean, there's always cycles.
I mean, the
And
Great
I'm
Depression, almost everybody lost everything, right?
yeah, yeah, right.
But
And
I
that's
think they
where
call
my
them the
father was
greatest
born. But
generation
everything
before
from there,
the boomers'
yes, yeah,
parents.
yeah,
Yeah, I think the boomers'
yeah. It was
parents
everything
and
from
the
that point
boomers got to
forward that I
have
was
that.
thinking forward.
Gen X, I think, is kind of hit and miss. Some people have been able to pull that off in Gen X, but a lot of people lost everything in 2008. I think Gen X got hit very hard in the Great Recession in 2008. Millennials have had it, did not. I mean, I'm 44. I bought a house at 44. I guess I was 43 when I bought the house. I didn't buy a house at 23, which is what I think, a lot of Gen X and boomers were able to do. Um, I said a lot.
Gen X was not buying any houses at 23. No, they weren't.
A lot of
No,
people bought
absolutely
houses
not.
out of college, got
33.
married. A lot of people are getting married at 19 and 20 and buying houses or, renting out of college. If they went to college, a lot of people didn't go to college, got a factory job,
In
got
my
married at
generation,
19.
no. Yeah, I mean, maybe. I don't know. My peers were not.
I'm thinking of my
I don't know
parents'
anyone in my
generation. They're
generation.
on the cusp between the boomers and Gen X. They don't fall neatly into either category, but they got married at 19 and 20. Like that was still a thing that was happening for a lot of people up until the mid 80s, probably until the recession of the 80s. So I don't know, there were a
Yeah,
couple generations where some percentage of the population was able to do that after World War II, but I don't think it was 4 generations. Just because I can look back and be like, "Well, my grandparents got to do that, and, like, my aunts and uncles mostly got to do that. My mother did not."
Yeah. No, I'm thinking of generations in terms of the 20-year cycle, not names of a group, right? Like, all right, 4 groups of 20-year people, like 80 years of moving a country in a direction that looked like, yeah, this is what we're trying to get done. Um,
I mean,
it
World
was
War
not
II was the
honest.
only
It was
thing
not.
that
It was
pulled us
not.
out of the Great Depression, so it's really only been since World War II.
Yeah, we're saying the same things. We're just
Okay.
calling them different things. Like I'm talking about the numbers of years, right? Like you're saying a generation is either X or the millennial or this, and yes,
I mean, that is about how
yes.
long a generation lasts. So I'm just thinking in terms of thinking, who are
Who
the
are you
people
arguing with?
in my family? I don't know. Anyway, what was the point?
No, well, that it's not happening anymore, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, there's nothing, it's the pontificating that we're doing that everybody else is doing. That is the ruminating of like, what the hell happened? Where's my house? And like, it's just what it is.
My
It's just what it
16-year-old
is.
said to me yesterday, she was like, "I feel like they're playing with my future, and I don't like it because it just feels so
Playing with.
uncertain." She got 2 years to go, and she's like, "Well, I didn't get to go to college. Where are they doing the FAFSA? What are they doing the loans?" I'm like, "I don't know, dear. We still will continue with our plans, and that is the plan, and we'll adapt when we need to adapt
Yeah,
because
that's
there's
where that
only
British bullshit came from.
so much we can do."
What was this shit?
Are you saying I should
Put your
not
lip in your
adapt?
ass and carry on or whatever.
Is that what
What did
you're
they
saying
say?
I'm saying that?
No, but I'm saying that's where that came from. What did the British used to say? Just put your thing in your face and carry. What did they say? They had a thing.
Keep calm and carry on? That was during COVID. Something about a
No, that
stiff
was
lip
way
or
before that.
something?
No, they brought that back. That was from
Everybody else borrowed it during COVID?
it it was revived in England, but it was after that was about World War II. That was absolutely about being bombed up to shit. And like, okay, well, I don't know, go to work. Like, well, that's bad advice is what that is. But
Well, in those kinds of
we don't have
circumstances,
other
nothing else to
advice.
do.
Well, that's the thing. It's like there's not other advice. I mean, the thing is, ultimately for me, the government should shut their dirty, gross mouths and not have any advice because they should simply be working to create the safest citizenry possible and staying out of the way and being fucking quiet and not necessarily having a gay Evil Knievel stunt show on the lawn. But, I
A
mean,
gay
whatever.
Evil Knievel stunt show? Is that what you said? It was gay?
I
Like
did,
for
yes.
Pride?
Well, it
Were
seems
they
like
celebrating
I
Pride there?
I think that's what it was, isn't it? I
I have no idea, didn't watch.
it just seems like such a waste of money for there to be. I mean, yay Trump and yay the whole administration, but for to put on a whole pride, a hillbilly pride celebration, right? For all of the queer DL white people who like to wrap it up in UFC and MMA and all of that and pretend that they're not sexually aroused while talking about how thick the thighs of the men are and such things,
Oh.
which sounds very gay. Um, happy pride, yay. It does not seem like that is the role of the White House, though. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying don't. I'm just saying maybe the money could be better used right now. That's all.
I watched a fight between some gay squirrels in my backyard the other day.
See, that would be an appropriate scale
I thought
of
I was like,
celebration.
"Oh, are they just mating?" And I was like, "Well, they kept like one would mount the other one, and then they just stand there for a couple minutes like, "Is this how we're supposed to do it?" And then they would like
when they
somersault
got
and fight with
frustrated.
each other, and then the other one would mount the other one, and then they would both just stand there for a minute and be like, "Okay, is this it?" And then they wrestle again, and they did this, like, I don't know, like 20 times in a row. They just kept taking turns mounting each other and somersault fighting in between. It's very
You sat there
fascinating.
watching squirrel porn for 20 tosses in a row?
Yeah, it was fascinating. Probably not 20, maybe 10. I definitely called my daughter to see if she wanted to see it as like a, wildlife documentary live. I was so
Mm.
confused. I was like, "What is happening? Are they just teenagers who are practicing, or?" It's like seemed like the younger
Mhm.
squirrels. I was like, "Is that how teenagers just figure it out? They just keep practicing? Like, is this it, or are they fighting with each other? Am I watching an assault? I don't know. I was really
Is
confused."
it in yet? What's happening? Get some poppers. It'll work. It's fine. Relax.
What?
Yeah, it's nothing.
Okay,
You don't want to know.
probably not.
Anyway,
Well, that's a very interesting note to end on. So that was the White House's contribution to Pride Month, was a UFC fight on the lawn.
yeah, seems to be. And an algae-ridden reflecting pool that they thought would look better as a swimming pool than a reflecting pool.
Do you have
So,
any real Pride celebrations or activities or moments of joy that you want to acknowledge? If our listeners who are not AI bots wanted scraping our content for the evil overlords, wanted some merch, what would they be able to get, and how would they be able to get it
oh boy, oh boy, oh
this
boy!
Pride Month?
If for real life, you wanted some Pride merch that is not a rainbow thing. Hey, how about this? Look at this.
Ooh. For our
Oh,
audio
an
listeners,
original,
this is a tiny brick,
a tiny brick necklace
a
with
real
a
brick
flame on it, a
with a
real brick
flame on it,
with a hand
on a
painted
chain.
flame on a
It
chain
also,
worn as a
for a double, it
necklace.
also kind of looks like you're giving someone the middle finger. It's a flame that looks like a middle finger.
Isn't that great? Isn't that great? And it comes from the idea that to which I'm dedicated, that it doesn't seem to me that Pride would have been started with rainbows, and I don't understand the point of the rainbow imagery, because I couldn't imagine going up to a cop and like spritzing water in front of them and going, "Pride, bitch," and like that's going to be how I defend myself. What happened was bricks aimed at cops and Molotov cocktails. And so queer as in bricks and fire, not queer as in rainbows. If you are so interested, you can get at me, and I will get this to you if you are interested in doing so. Probably the easiest way to do it would be to I don't know. I see now. Now I'm caught off guard.
How about
See
your
me
social
live.
media? Facebook, Instagram?
Facebook, Instagram, all of those places. Let me know that that is
Are there
something that
more
you
of
are
them
interested
than
in.
those two? Think you're
There,
on
not that
LinkedIn
I'm aware of.
sometimes?
Yeah, don't look there. I'm
You're
not. I'm not. Gonna
Caballo Negrito on Instagram?
El Caballo Negrito on Instagram. It is my name, or I think it's Senor Wyndham or something like that on Facebook. But if you get at me, we can do this through Venmo. I will get it to you personally if you are going to be at any of the shows that I still have going on. By the time you hear this, would be in Boulder, Colorado. Certainly, you can get at me there as well. And Portland, I'll be back with you very soon after that. And that's the Pride merch
All right.
this year.
If my history knowledge is correct, it's because the Nazis put rainbows on queer folks when they sent them to the concentration camps. Is that where the rainbow came from?
I believe that was the pink triangle. I
Oh, that
don't
was
know.
a pink triangle. It wasn't a
Yeah,
rainbow.
that was the pink triangle. No, no. The
Oh, that
rainbow
was a
was,
rainbow.
no, the rainbow was a design thing that happened in the 80s, and it was about sewing together flag in memory of so many who were dying
Mm.
during the AIDS crisis. So it really came from that.
Oof.
But it was not really about. It was about recognition more than resistance.
Mm.
And
The
I
promise of a
certainly
better
stand
day,
by that
maybe.
promise of a better day, and I stand by all of that. And it is a horrible look on clothing. So again, beautiful necklaces available. I don't know. I don't know.
All right. Well, you can find us as always at strategyandSolidarity.org. Come join the community. You come have real conversations with us. We do a monthly Ask Us Anything where you can literally come and ask us anything. So if you find yourself wanting to talk back to the podcast, if you're in fact a real human who listens to this, come join the conversation for real. We're really there at strategyandSolidarity.org. We got a couple things coming up. We have Your Nervous System versus Fascism, which will be open for registration by the time this is airing live. A new workshop we're going to do talking about the impact of fascism on your nervous system. And there's a reason we ask, how's your nervous system doing today? There's a couple of them. One of them is the asking people how you are in the middle of consistent crisis and chaos is not the best, like, even though it's our habit, because we're none of us are doing great.
No one's
So either lie or you have to tell too much,
fantastic.
or people just say, I'm okay, I'm doing good, and they don't really mean it. And asking people how their nervous system is, we tend to get much more real answers. And understanding how your nervous system responds to fascism, to constant chaos and catastrophe, is really helpful for figuring out where to put your focus and attention and energy in the things you can do each day, that they really do work to not enrage us, but to overwhelm, distract, and discourage us. And so, understanding how your nervous system works, understanding how the nervous systems of the people around you that you're trying to build and resist and organize with can be really helpful in just being better to ourselves and keeping ourselves going and finding strategies that are most impactful. So, we'll be sharing some skills and tools in that workshop, and then have a preview. It's not open for registration yet, but we're having something very special coming up in July called Reclaiming My Spirit. We'll just leave that as a
Ooh.
cliffhanger for now. We'll tell you more next week. So come
All
join
right.
us, strategyandSolidarity.org.
Get with us there. Let's fight the fascism. Find me in the evenings. Let's laugh at the fascists. As ever, our thanks to Imani Will for the incredible song Love of the Earth that is used at the intro and the outro and the interstitial music that may have happened. Thanks to all of our friends and all of our community here. Thanks to all of our supporters at strategyandSolidarity.org who are making this whole thing possible. And thanks to you for listening. And that's probably enough words from us for now.
Take good care of yourselves out there.